It's pretty cool having two skylines in this shed. Anyway, in this week's video, we're installing these. This is R33. Alrighty, these suckers had to go in here because at the moment there's a little bit of play. It's in the top section, which I believe is called the wishbone joint or something. I don't know. We're gonna find out together when we pull it apart. Because again, this is one of those things where I don't have a fucking clue. I'm just following directions from some other idiot on YouTube who told me how to do it. Well, it's different to the R32, so I guess it's not a wishbone because it's a 3-point thing. I'll show you what I mean. So you've got one through here, and you've got one there and one there. On the R32, this outer piece is actually an inner piece, and it's shaped like a wishbone, so it goes from here back up into like one housing. So I guess this is another part where they differ at the top, but that's what we're replacing, this bit in here, and that bit in there, that bit in there. All right, so the first thing to do is gonna be to remove this outer piece and see if that brings everything else down and out, and then we can remove the rest from there, which I'm hoping is the case. Not necessary. I think I'm gonna have to take the shock out just to get in there. Luckily, that's not very hard. That's that part out. Yep.
It's opening up. Yep. A lot easier than I thought.
Yeah. Oh, see. That's both our bushings out. Right, so I'm back in the other shed now because this is where the angle grinder is. And if you're wondering why I need an angle grinder, well, it's because this little sucker is an absolute fuck to get out. There's a lip on this side, which means it has to go out that way. But then there's nothing to brace this against because there's no outer lip to then push against. So basically, got to grind this face down so that you expose both sides of this bit right there, and then you have something to push against, and then something to push in, and then you have to use a vise, and it's a whole fuck about. And I'll show you now that I know how to do it. You can just see a line through the center, which is the seam between the two pieces of steel. There you go. So we've just scraped back to the point where that's exposed, and now we can get this out, just like this.
Yep, there she goes. Something going.
Once it's jiggered in the right spot, it
Oh, it goes easy.
yeah, once you, I mean, yes and no, it's still hundreds.
Someone would pay hundreds to get a workout that you've just done.
Why haven't we got a hydraulic press?
It's running into your tool.
Ah,
That's it.
that little bit extra.
Oh, and a socket.
That's both our old bits out. Now I've just got to lube this up so that I can press the new ones in there, lube that up, press the new ones in, bolt everything back together. Should be pretty straightforward from here on out. These should go in just like that. Now we should be able to insert, oh, there we go.
Oh, that one's fitting nicely.
And then I'm going to use the ratchet thing, this one, 17 I said, wasn't it?
19, 18.
Alrighty, well that's big Bertha on. Now I just gotta get the little ones in here. I don't know if it was on camera or off camera, but I hit these with a file, so I deburred the edges, and then I hit the whole thing with sandpaper so that it's all nice and good to go. Now we'll chuck grease on these little guys and chuck them in. All right, with all the bushings in, the next thing I want to do is actually reinstall whatever this thing is called back into the top, and then I will install the nuts and bolts with some Loctite on them. Let's sit this in place first. That's in finger tight. All right, the camera died or the mic died at one point and I didn't realize it, so I don't know when this is coming in. I don't know if I got to record the Newton meters or me tightening that up. In case I didn't, the two back ones are 65 to 88 Newton meters, so I just do them to 84, and the front one is also 84 Newton meters. So that's all torqued up. It's ready to have the wheel chuck back on there, so I'll do that now. And I've actually already done the other side, so all I've got to do is put the wheel on that side, and then we can lower it down and go for a drive. Sicko. We are out on the road now. The car's warmed up. I've avoided doing any like little jittery turns to, you know, avoid getting a good feel for what it's like, just because I wanted to get my reaction on camera, because I think there will be a pretty decent difference. Before it was really doughy and doshy and just nastiness, and so now I'm looking forward to giving it a feel. I'm talking as if I'm waiting to hit some corners, but there's no corners coming up. The best we can do is this. Just that little like 2-finger movement where it kind of feels like the car pulls into the corner rather than like rolls over. I should specify too, I did like 3 or 4 bolt checks off camera. That's for you, Dom, Daniel, yous both. Almost on the dollar. Nothing like walking back to a car that looks like this. Only a little bit. It's got a silver bumper, a white bonnet, pink fenders, and it has this horrible cream little fucking horn that sticks out like a sore thumb.
You know what it looks like?
A Power Ranger. Yeah. So to summarize on what the bushings feel like, before I would have described it as having like a bit of a dead zone, like turn the wheel, first the car would roll out and then it would turn the corner, whereas now it feels more like it takes the corner more immediately. So before it rolled and then turned, now it rolls and turns together. If that's a fair comparison, I don't know. I'm kind of just relaying what I feel, but that's what it feels like. All in all, I'd say it feels pretty good, and it sounds like this now too. Feels good, sounds good, looks fantastic. Catch you next week. Bye.